Hey there, role players, gamers, geeks, freaks, and everyone in between. Welcome back to another episode of Southern Expanse, a 5e Dungeons and Dragons Homebrew Campaign, brought to you by Deacon's Table. We are going to go around the table momentarily and talk about the characters that you're going to experience and witness get into all kinds of trouble in our Southern Expanse campaign. In the meantime, we are, of course, just want to go over some of our housekeeping notes. Housekeeping, of course, we do have multiple streams coming up. We have our Thursday night streams, which is our Minecraft from the VCraft SMP server, where a group of us from Deacon's Table join the rest of the members of the VCraft SMP, and we build a world together, and we have some fun. And it is a modded world, so it's a lot. It's different, and it is 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday evenings. We do have, of course, coming up on Saturdays. We will be still doing the world building stream coming up very, very soon. In the next month, not sure it'll be whether beginning, probably closer to the end of next month, we will be starting a temporary 3-month only stream. Very special. We'll get to the announcement on the name and everything probably next episode. We'll kind of release a little bit of a teaser on what's going to be happening with that stream. We're looking forward to, and that doesn't mean Emerald Legion is gone. It just means it's on hiatus for at least 3 months at a time, just until we can work out some scheduling, and then we can get back to the antics of our goblins and their orc commander. So I know a lot of people are asking for them to come back, and I'm excited to have them back as well. This has given me a little bit of a challenge, though. It allows me to showcase a little bit more of this campaign setting that Deacon's Table is working on in the background for this particular world. So it's going to be a little bit different. So you'll see. With that, we're going to, at this point, I'm going to check my audio levels, make sure that my cast is it can be heard. Should be good to go, and we're going to go around the table. We're going to start with my top left, which is Mr. Knockfin.
Hello, I am Knockfin Tarot. I'm playing Knockfin Tarot, the Storm Sorcerer Turtle. Yeah, he's just a sorcerer. He's a nice guy. He would never hurt a fly, ever.
Nope, never heard of fly. He's innocent. And let's go down to another individual who would be standing on the deck of the ship right now as well. Would be Daksha. What is Daksha looking like?
Daksha is a marvelous Luxodon, ready and raring with her saw and hammer, and also her fists when needed, as she fights as a monk.
Excellent. And then we have Whistler.
Hey, I'll be playing Whistler. And Whistler, he basically just looks like your standard Kenku cultist, who's all just hunched over with a big gnarly stick. He's a shadow sorcerer, and as I already mentioned, a Kenku. This is gonna be fun.
Excellent. And then we have, of course, who would be most likely at this point up on the aft castle, near the, right now, probably near the quartermaster at the moment, who would be up there, would be Gabrielle.
Hi, I'm playing Gabrielle, our wonderful Triton warlock. Doesn't get into any trouble at all. Nope. You occasionally would see tentacles come out from the bottom of her robes. Just,
tentacles
doing what she does.
Interesting. And of course, missing from the screen right now is Mr. John Cardinal, who you would no doubt at this point in time, as you see at most times, unless he's ashore or he's called to do otherwise, you will find his elvish human-looking features looking out through one of the gun ports on the side of the ship, just peering out over the waves to see what the ocean has in store. That is what we have going around the table, and I'll let John Cardinal express that when he comes back to the table. But let's just kind of recap where we left off last episode. And last episode, we started off, of course, in the town of Sorath, having completed a task for Knockfin and one of his friends. And that being done, the ship over the next couple of weeks stayed in harbor and was repaired. And then, of course, the ship set sail. And of course, the journey. Forgive me from last episode. I was a little bit off when I said 7 days. It was more like 14 days at sea. But we fast forward a little bit. That's just the way it happened. So we, a little bit of encounters at sea, and we had a little bit of fun. And then, of course, this evening, as the sun has gone down. And the ship is still moving forward into the night, you eventually see the village of Rosendeep, and it comes into view along the eastern shore of Whitemane Island. A massive mountain island looms behind it like a dark shadow. There is a lush soil and small pockets of tropical forest heading inland from the village. You really can't see it all that well at night. You do make out the moonlit cove with its plank boardwalks and docks, hanging oil lanterns, and quite a few different vessels docked in place. The Tainted Heart appears to be the largest of the vessels. There is one other that is around the same size but has way fewer armaments than what the Tainted Heart has. Most of the ships are slightly smaller, not a lot smaller. They're not fishing vessels for sure. But they are smaller than the Tainted Heart itself. But no one, as you guys would know, from being the sea, they are faster vessels in general, and they are armed quite well in most cases. So you do notice that. While you guys are out to sea, it does you do hear, and you've noticed the village on the horizon there on the side of the cove. The ship maintains its course, and then as you guys settle in for the evening, you do hear the captain bellow out an order from up top, calling for an all stop and the anchor to be dropped. Nothing else was said. Do you guys just ignore that after that moment?
No,
like,
God,
what's
no, I'll
everybody?
come out.
Oh,
Okay,
time to start working.
Yep.
so those of you that go to the deck,
She gets to work.
you do go up top, and again, there is a lot of the sailors, the night crew that were up there doing their job, and the sails are being lowered and the anchors being dropped. Everything is being tied and bound up properly. And it looks like you're about a mile out still from the cove. And of course, the captain at this point does order the pinnace to be dropped and lowered into the water so that a landing party will be able to go ashore in the morning. And that will include the captain. Sankir will be going, Jenny and Lizzie, along with, it looks like there's probably room for at most 8 others, depending on who all goes. I mean, if you happen to have a turtle and a loxodon in the mix with the Triton and whatnot, it might prove a full boat, to be honest with you. But that is what has happened. And of course, you guys are helping out. You're lowering the pinnace. The pinnace is one of those longboats that you do see that are often bound up to a larger vessel that could be used as a landing party boat or possibly a Mayday vessel to get the hell out of Dodge. Mind you, the captain would never do so. The captain would normally stay on board the ship during types of situations, or so it is rumored that captains go down with their ship. So, that's where we are right now. And what's everybody doing after the boat is lowered? It's secured to the side of the ship at the moment, and as she said, she is putting together a landing party for the morning.
First off, did we get a long rest?
You will get a long rest that night, and you've had long rests leading up until this point. Yes.
Okay. My first action then is I'm going to cast Weather Eye again.
Okay. Roll me a d6.
That's a 6.
A 6. There's a bad storm out there, but luckily where the ship is in a little bit of a cove, and it doesn't look like the ship or this particular dock. These docks are in any danger of the storm, but there is a really bad storm brewing out beyond the protection of the island.
Okay. I'm heading over to the nearest crew member. I'm just going to start pointing in the direction of the storm.
Okay. They take note of it, and they do go over and tell the appropriate people aboard the ship. And eventually, the captain even notices and nods, and just kind of gives you a little half salute type of deal, and goes about what she's working on, and that's yours. Anybody else doing anything that evening before getting some rest?
I'd say our basic routines.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'll watch the town for a while. Like maybe watch the ports and things like that. Just kind of keep an eye out, because it's a pirate town, right? So
Are you looking for anything specific or just general observation?
just anything that seems like it might be getting too close to our ship.
Okay.
Like suspiciously close,
How long do you spend doing so?
A couple hours.
Couple hours? Okay.
Yeah, sure.
During that couple of hours, you can make me a perception check.
I don't trust this town.
You've kind of you've sort of been here before, but your experiences are not. I mean,
I met a
it
turtle
is what
who
it
stole a dagger from me here once. 12.
A 12. You do notice that there is a smaller rowing vessel that leaves one of the docks and comes partway towards the Tainted Heart, but stops. You're observing, and there's a couple of people aboard that vessel and several rowers, and they're having a conversation, and then they turn around and go back to dock.
They probably can't hear me from where I'm standing, but I'm going to shake my little turtle fist at them and say, "Hey, you better get out of here, you."
They're about where you see them
pirates.
stop. You see them sit. They're about a half a mile away from the side of the ship when they stop. So you're seeing the moonlit silhouette of this boat sitting there with some people on it, and in all senses, what they've probably done, and this is through your experience as a pirate as well, and having been in these situations before, they've sent somebody out to verify the vessel that has come into so close to this protected cove and harbor at night, where they would not have probably been able to see the actual flag flying above the Tainted Heart. So
they were probably just two people just messing around.
They were curious, or had been sent to find out who's out there, and then they've turned around and gone back. Anybody else that night?
Just regular stuff. She looks at her book. She does her little prayer, and
all right. So you guys do your normal day-to-day activities and your chores, and then of course you return to your sleeping arrangements, your little area of the ship where you can catch your hours of much needed sleep, and you get your long rest that evening. The following morning, the captain basically is standing up on deck with Sankir, Jenny, and Lizzie all with her. And she looks to you guys and at first, and she says, "Will you accompany us to shore?"
Sorry, who are you speaking to?
The captain's looking at you at the party,
Oh,
at
yeah,
you guys on the deck.
absolutely.
Will you
Yeah.
accompany us to shore?
Of course.
Aye.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I will.
Excellent. Well, most of you have some experience here, in Rosendeep. I will let you know, Daksha, you have any kind of a money purse on you. Keep it well hidden and well secured, not just hidden. Anything goes in Rosendeep. I mean, it is pretty much a lawless area of sorts. There are, well, they say there are honor among pirates, but, well, how honorable can one be? You know, we are honorable to our own amongst the Tainted Heart. That we are. But as for everybody else, they're on their own. So that is, just be careful while you're out there. With that, she basically, they start getting into the panas down below, climbing down the rungs, getting into the boat. And you guys jumping in, there's 5 of you. They actually do manage to fit 2 more people on there. There was one halfling that's on there, and there was also a human that came along for the ride as well, one of the other crew members. And you guys head off to shore, and you row. And I need all 5 of you to make me athletics checks, please.
Oh, God.
Oh, this will go well.
Yeah, actually, that's not bad. 14.
Okay.
I rolled a 7 total.
Okay.
Daksha rolled
16.
A 6.
16. Doctor rolled a what?
6.
6. Okay.
We're off to a great
With
start.
that, so 3 of you
Her
have.
arms are too big and she can't quite move them around.
And I got a 16.
Okay. So 2 out of 7 of you were able to make the DC. The Panos doesn't move very far.
They didn't get mean faces.
What was that?
Background noise. It's okay.
Yeah, I was just wondering what the background noise was. I'm like, what the heck was that?
I think it was.
I think it was my phone.
Oh, good
I bumped
job.
the screen and it started playing.
Good job, John Cardinal. Good job.
Yeah,
Pirates are not supposed to
technology.
have phones. Just saying. You're going to get put in the brig for that. So you guys, you're not making very much headway, and the captain is just kind of a little bit dumbfounded with with the progress that you guys are not really making at this point in time. And she's basically yelling the equivalent of "put your backs into it" and get with it. You guys can also make me a perception check, please.
Okay.
Oh no. Knockfin's trying to work too hard for the rest of the people in the boat, and he got a 2.
Okay, you got a 2.
Nat 20.
A nat 20?
There you
Okay.
go.
Well, that's
16.
pretty much 16 also would see it. Anybody over 15 will actually will note that
17.
so you'll see it as well. The seaweed under the boat is pretty high, rising up from the depths of the ocean. As you guys are trying, and the water is rough. Like that storm that you noticed before, Whistler, even though it's out of the cove protection, these waters are still rather rough. For a big ship like the Tainted Heart, oh, it's nothing. But you guys are in a rowboat. So yeah, you're having a little bit of a struggle with the thing here. But those of you perception-wise that rolled above a 15, notice that there are things in the water. You can't make out what they are. It's even though the sun's coming down, the water's pretty clear. It's down amongst that tangle of seaweed. There is movement that's going against the current of what it should be. So you've noticed this. Make me another athletics check, guys.
This is not what
Come
Daksha
on,
is
baby.
built for.
Oh, nice.
Oh no.
Nice.
Knockfin's tired from all the rowing. He rolled a 3.
Knockfin's like, I'm not built for this.
Come on, guys. You
18.
gotta get. This is
18,
ridiculous.
nice.
I'm doing all the rowing
I
here.
rolled-
Gabriel's doing great so far.
Daksha has become a monk and not a barbarian or some other strong thing. I may
So-
look strong. I am not strong. I am dexterous.
So you didn't do too well. How did you do, Whistler?
I rolled a 17, but because of my -1, it's a 16.
Okay. And John?
20.
Hey,
Nice.
there you go.
So the
Natural
majority,
20, so 24 after.
you guys are now
Nice.
making some headway towards the shoreline. You do make out, those of you that did observe the movement in the water, you still see it, but you're getting more distant from it as you're going. We need
Okay.
one more roll, guys.
At
athletics
this
or
point, Whistler
perception?
is actually going to point the shadows in the water to the captain. He's just going to turn to the captain and go, points to the water.
Yeah, she's at that point. She definitely looks. Guys, you got to put your back into it. We're being followed under the water.
Well, in that case,
I will
Knockfin's
try.
gonna put his back into it, and he's gonna roll an 18.
Oh,
Nice.
no.
Gabriel
Nice.
got a nat 20.
Friggin' 9.
Okay.
I rolled a 0.
Oh God.
Nat
Good job.
20 plus 2 for
I
22.
rolled a nat 1.
Wow.
You rolled a nat 1. What did you roll, Daksha?
Guys.
Altogether, it's a 4, but it's a nat 1.
So the two of you rolled a nat 1.
Hey, at least I got a nat 20, right?
Nat 20. And then
Well,
18. John, it's on you.
I
Almost.
rolled a 9.
I got a 22.
Okay.
the boat tips over.
We're not straight.
I mean,
Strength,
guys,
bro.
it's not that rapid. Jesus.
Lucky- You guys are going, and you see Knockfin really knuckle down, and he's just rowing away. Daksha and Whistler both have lost their oars out in the rough waters. They are floating away at this point. We have Gabrielle, she's putting her back into it, and John just looks like he's flailing around a little bit with that. But the other two crewmen that came along with the officers and with you guys are really rowing hard. And thanks to them and putting their back into it, you guys do manage to get to the safety of the docks. Good job. Just saying.
What's now up to you to
Choose a monk.
Yeah.
I can imagine Gabriel's tentacle is probably rowing along as well, trying to get more traction. Come on, we can do it.
Whistler is now up to use his stick to row instead.
Yeah, Whistler's on one side, and where Whistler loses the oar, Gabrielle's tentacle reaches over and starts to paddle the water while she's rowing the oars, doing her best to stay the course. You guys do manage to get to the docks, and it is just as the map that you guys have seen. Let me see if I have a copy of it here. Nope, that's the island.
Knockfin will look over to the captain and say, I will grab us some new oars, seeing as how we lost the other ones on the trip over here. They are somewhat essential to getting back.
We would appreciate that for sure.
Yes, of course.
I am going to show this. Yeah, I'm going to show this to the chat. This is Whitemane Island. This is where they are. They are, you've noticed there on the right-hand side is the little cove area that is Rosendeep, and that is where they currently are. I will take that image away, and I'm going to try and add one more to share with you is the actual town itself. They have the joy of actually having, a map themselves in Discord. They can see it, but I just want to make sure. And if I can even find it. There is Rosendeep. that up. You guys can have a look. There you go. So I'll let chat have a look at the map of Rosen Deep. They are at the farthest end on the inside of the cove. So that would be on the south end dock is where the boat has rowed in. That's where the party currently sits. Tying off the shore boat, the Panas, you guys do get onto the docks. These plank, it is a plank network, a dock network that goes all around the cove, rising up and down slopes and banks where there are outcroppings of wooden platforms rising up that are about 6 or 7 feet off the water. Other parts that are maybe only a foot off the water, and it just kind of wraps around this little inlet cove area with a multitude of smaller vessels, rowing vessels, some sailing vessels. At the other end of the port, other end of the harbor, is the other big ship that is slightly similar in size to the Tainted Heart, but where you guys are, you are at the southern end of the docks, and the captain basically says that she has business to attend to, and she is going to take Sankir with her, and then leaves the rest of you to your own devices. And Jenny and Lizzie are basically left behind as well at the moment. So where are you guys going? Well, I know where you're, Knockfin, you're going to go look for another pair of oars.
I was gonna head over to Father's shanty.
Okay.
Right away.
Yep.
I think Gabby will go with him to help.
All right, so you guys are going to Father's shanty. Doksha, you've never been here before.
Yeah.
So you're kind of new to it. What about Whistler? Whistler, what are you up to?
Knowing that Daksha is new, Whistler's actually probably going to stick with her.
Okay.
And basically, he's going to be monitoring her to make sure she doesn't get herself in trouble.
So where would you, like, you're just going to stand there and kind of watch her? Or are you taking her around? Or are you...
I'm literally creeping behind her as she walks around the town.
Oh, Lord.
Okay. So you are walking...
Shadow, okay.
You are walking around the town. There's really nothing at this level of the docks where you're kind of going up and down different levels and areas of the docks themselves that you can actually see that as a business or anything. They're shanties. They're where people live there. Built out of wood and on platform and on stilts, basically, to raise it up a little bit away from sea level in case the water rises. But it is definitely has that whole Pirates of the Caribbean trademark theme going on that you can see. There are currently it's morning. The oil lanterns have all been taken down, but you see the actual hanging posts where they would have a lantern master comes by in the evenings and hangs the lanterns. In the morning they come and pick them up and refill them the next day. And there's not a lot of them. I mean, it doesn't light up the entire dock network, but there are pockets of light to kind of show you where intersections are ahead and so on, heading up the hill into the town. So walking all the way along the docks, I'm assuming you're just staying at the lower level right now. You observe lots of different ships. Again, you're pretty sure you've seen a couple of the little ones out there before, but not 100% positive. The first thing you do come across is that large building on the map, the big blue building, which is a 2-story timber frame structure that's built slightly on the banks or into the banks of the water here, but also partly on stilts at the front. It is a brown tile roof with shuttered windows, and it is called a sign out front that says the Drunken Clam. And obviously you hear commotion on the inside, and you do see some people going in, people going out.
Okay,
What-
Whistler's gonna try to identify the location for her. He's just gonna point to the building. He goes,
Yes, you want to drink the clam, I see.
John's just gonna throw an arm over Doc's shoulder and say, "Come on with me, lass."
All you
Oh,
want
no.
to do is get me drunk.
Well, this would be the place for
There
it.
is the fun in that, if I can, what is the fun in getting in a new town if all I have is drinking and not remembering?
So are you going into the
Drink
place, or are you just keeping
enough
walking?
to have a blast, but not enough to.
So what's
Says you.
the verdict
It's all
on the three
about
of you?
balance.
John, Daksha, and Whistler, are you going into the drunken clam, or are you continuing to walk the docks and explore?
If I can get Daksha in the door, we're going in.
Okay. So we will come back to you guys in that negotiation. Moving to Knockfin and Gabrielle, as you guys work your way through, the town or village of Rosendeep, you guys do make your way to the far around the point of the docks, where it is almost close enough to where you originally landed the boat, but opposite in the harbor. And it is a building built 100% on stilts on the actual docks themselves. This is Father's Shanty. But it is a two-story building. It is walled, obviously wood-walled with a shingled roof, a gray shingled roof. As you enter into the shanty, there are these large Persian-style rugs that scattered out amongst and line the floor in a vast arrangements of shelves around, with tables fill the space. Most items can be found here that you see. There's rope and pitons and torches and lanterns and flasks of oil and water skins and backpacks, and it's pretty much a general store of all sorts. What you see behind the counter is a rather tall, black-furred tabaxi, probably about 6'6", very lean and lanky, looking very much like a black panther, but clearly a tabaxi. This is, as any of you who have been to Father Shanty before know, that his name is Sweet in the Wind. He is an older tabaxi, and the reason it is called Father Shanty is the other tabaxi here in Rosendeep, who make up the majority of the population, by the way,
Yeah.
call him Father. He is probably one of the oldest tabaxi in Rosendeep. So you guys are here. You walk in. This fellow just kind of looks over with a very smooth and strong voice. Ah, welcome to the shanty. And he looks at first. Actually, he looks at both of you, considering what you are. Kind of looks a little lost as he looks at Gabrielle, and then he looks over to Knockfin, and he, like, I remember you.
It has been a very long time since I have been here.
Still on the
Surprised
Tainted
that you
Heart?
remember. I left for a little bit, but I returned. Nice to come home. You know what I mean?
Well, we're always glad to have your business here at the shanty, as you know. What is it you've come in for, my friend?
We are looking for 2 oars for a rowboat.
Some trouble coming in from the...
Some of the other members of the ship, I don't know if it is like maybe their first time in a rowboat. It took a bit of trying. We'll get them sorted out.
We lost a couple.
It happens, beginners. We'll get
All
them
right.
sorted
You see this individual step out from behind the counter and very long, graceful strides to his movement. Uh, Clearly, there's some wisdom in his step and his look as he watches the two of you. And he goes over to an area on the wall where there's a couple of pegs coming out from, like very large pegs coming out from one of the walls, and stacked and leaning on top of them is all sorts of ores of different sizes and shapes. And he's kind of looking over and he goes, "Let me see, the Tainted Heart, the Panasa, one of these, and one of these," and he takes them down and he passes them over. The silver piece each, if you don't mind.
I will pay for it because I'm sure the captain will
Reimburse.
Yeah. I imagine that's something that the captain would probably handle, but regardless. So yeah, I'll toss over 2 silver.
Very good, very good. So how are the seas? What any news that you bring from way and afar?
We had a bit of trouble coming in. Actually, it was the weirdest thing. It was like what was it, Gabrielle?
There's something in the water.
Yeah, like a big sea kind of. I don't even know, like an elemental, I think.
Oh, the water
Something like that.
elementals. Yeah.
Oh,
Caused a bunch of trouble for us. It was
Ice methods.
that's what it was. Yes.
the steam methods, you mean?
Steam sorry.
Steam methods, yeah. Well, you know what they say. You survived an encounter with a water elemental at sea. It's good luck for the Tainted Heart.
Yeah, good luck. We're not at the bottom of the sea.
Well, that's a start. That's a start.
We need all the luck we can get.
But you had no problem other than losing the oars coming across the cove, did you?
I didn't. My character didn't see anything, so
Gabrielle did.
Not as far as I know.
There's something in the water under.
What there was?
Seaweed.
I know what that would be. That's them filthy, and he spits. Sahagin. Those nasty fiends are always causing some havoc with when for those that have to anchor at sea and come in by boat. The smaller vessels.
But Knockfin will also spit on the ground.
Yeah, they're a nuisance to say the least. But be careful when you're out there, especially in a smaller vessel such as the Panas. They can pose a real threat for that kind of situation.
Are they like a problem that needs being taken care of? Maybe it's something we could handle. Or?
It's something the council has addressed a few times, and we've sent individuals out to try and deal with the issue, but it appears that part of the shoreline of Whitemane Island happens to be a home for their kind. So we kind of have an uneasy territory division of that's their space and this is ours. As long as they don't come directly in near the docks or cause too much of a monetary inconvenience. Which, as you know, monetary inconveniences here in Rosendeep, not well received. Sure.
No, they certainly seemed pretty close when we were coming in.
I will. Well, I'll ask around. I mean, there's nothing much I can do. I'm sure your captain knows about it, and if necessary, she'll report it to where it has to go. Is there anything else I can help you with?
I was just going to ask if Gabrielle needed anything else as well.
I think I'm alright for now.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, no, I'm good
Nice
as well.
to meet you.
No, thank you. I think we are good. Just the ores that we came in for.
Okay.
We'll return them to the ship, and thank you for your ores.
Very well. Very well. May your seas be calm.
I would say the same, but you're not at sail.
Yeah, not anymore. Those days are long behind me, my friend. Long behind me. So you guys do leave, and you're back out into onto the docks and whatnot. And making your way to your next destination. Meanwhile, back standing outside on the docks, looking at this building of the Drunken Clam, we have a very, well, for a Loxodon, a little bit smaller than what some Loxodon can be, but still a very large figure in and of herself. With John Cardinal, a kind of a slightly tanned elvish, now that you can kind of see him not hidden so much here, with his tricorn hat and his hair pushed back, exposing his pointed ears and his elvish nature. His arm is up and around the Loxodon's neck, trying to coerce her to going into the Drunken Clam for a drink. And of course, standing off to the side is the Kenku, just making the occasional squawk or sound or flutter or what have you.
I'm just looking at John like, are we really going through this again?
You know this is where they're going to look for us when they're done their shop. May as well go in and have a drink.
Pretty much you do
to go shopping first too.
Yeah, John and Whistler, you guys do know that pretty much anybody and everybody at some point makes their way to the Drunken Clam anyway. But is that where you want to go first, or do you want to
just taking the shortcut apparently?
Yeah, just getting right to the getting drunk and getting in trouble part.
I know, right?
What they do best.
So, are you resisting his invitation to go inside, Doctor?
All roads lead to the clam.
A little bit, because I'd like to actually kind of get to know the place a little bit since I've never been here before. Maybe look for something nice to better the ship, in the sense of like, if I better myself, then that'll better the ship, right? So, kind of looking around, seeing what there is, if there's like tattoo parlors, if there's interesting items to buy, things like that might be helpful.
Okay. So she kind of shrugs off your arm and then like just continues to walk down the docks and explore. So she's not overly rude about it. Just kind of
I tried.
Are you staying behind, John? I just need to know. Are you staying behind?
Well, if no one else is going in yet,
then you're
going
to continue.
Wander over to Father's.
Okay. So you guys do, on your way, going down the docks, you do meet up with Knock Finn and Gabrielle. You see them coming down the docks. And Gabrielle and Knock Finn, as you guys are winding around the docks as well, you do see in the distance, coming along the docks towards where you guys have just been to, is Daksha and John and Whistler.
Does Whistler notice them?
Yes, you guys all notice each other. I mean, it's daytime. There is activity on the dock, but this is a small shanty. In and of, like, it's not. There's not a lot of stuff here. There's people that do all kinds of things, but there's not like shops for a lot of things. So if that makes any sense. So, if you need certain things, like if you want a haircut, there's no barber shop, but somebody, everybody here will know somebody or be able to tell you somebody that, oh, he'll cut your hair. The type of deal. So whether or not you trust him with the straight razor shave or not is a different story. So
I'm just going to basically raise my hand to Knockfin and Gabrielle and just go...
It looks like they found this.
Ugh, God, that's unfortunate. I mean, good. I was thinking.
No, good. We're nice.
Do I have to be?
Oh, maybe just a little. She is new.
Okay, so you guys basically pass each other by. And she, hey, what's going on? And then you continue. And it's clear when Gabrielle and Knockfin, it's clear
we'll
that
meet you back at the clam.
All right.
Yeah, sure.
Which is probably pretty well, but yeah, you can pretty well tell that Daksha is exploring. She's looking at the buildings and checking things out as she goes. So yeah, the next step up that you do find is in Rosendeep, as you're going around the docks, like you've passed the Clam. There's a couple of more bigger buildings, but then there's this. You see a shop that's actually out on a dock on stilts, and it's got there is a hanging. Looks like a piece of driftwood, and carved into the driftwood it says Father's Shanty. And you do see that, and it is set in the docks. So that is the next business you go to. And of course, going inside, you see the exact same thing as described to Knockfin and Gabrielle, with the Persian rugs and the shelves and the tables, and this very lean, yet and tall tabaxi, panther-looking tabaxi, is behind the counter. Greetings.
Duck into it and.
Oh my word! And he kind of looks at you, and keep in mind he's rather. How tall is Daksha?
I'm pretty sure she's 7 foot. I will double check though.
Okay, so you do notice that this tabaxi is not as tall as you are, but up there. Definitely not short.
Yeah.
But muscular wise, you can see that the ripples, in the black furred body that he's there. What can I get you? And welcome to the shanty.
I am looking for anything that might be substantial for a monk to hone their skills. You know of anything like that?
A monk to hone your skill. What kind of skills do you need to hone? I don't know nothing about monks. I know about the sea. I know about pirates, and I know about me. So tell me.
Know how to punch, correct?
So you need something to help you punch better.
Or something like that, yes.
Well, let me see. And he goes over to a wooden crate-like opening box that's got a bunch of random stuff in it. And you hear him jingling around in there, and he picks up a jar, and it's got something in it. You're not sure what it is. He puts it aside. And then he pulls out this black... Oh, it looks like a sort of like a black band at first. And then he brings it closer, and it's a pair of knuckles. But
cool.
But it's not brass. This is like a black metallic material. And he says, well, I've got one of these. I used to have another one, but I think I sold it a while back. It's made out of the volcanic metals and some of the iron mixed with the volcanic ore from Whitemane itself. Pretty hefty on the shot with this, that's for sure.
And I think may I look and kind of like try it out and see if it would even closely fit her hand.
It's a little bit snug, because you got large hands, but it does fit, and it's heavy, like it's got some weight behind it. So I mean, seems like it would hurt if you hit somebody with it.
Yeah, and seeing that it's heavy and stuff, because she has no strength at all. It's all dex. She would make sure that it wouldn't hinder her abilities and stuff.
Well,
like that.
It's definitely not a finesse weapon, so you don't have to worry about that. Unfortunately, you will be using your strength with it, but
yeah, that's what I figured. So it probably wouldn't help.
But it would definitely.
Because my unarmed strikes, I switched to dex.
Oh, if you're going to use unarmed, yeah. Well, if you use finesse as unarmed strike because you're a monk, correct? Okay, because of that, you would be able to use this with dex then. Because that's classified as an unarmed strike. You're just putting something on your fist to do that. So he's like, well, let me see, and he's you know what? I know what I sold the other one for, but I don't see your kind in here very often. Mind you, I haven't been over to... Yeah, it's been a while since I've been there. Anyway, I will let this go for 5 gold pieces.
I'd say that's a pretty fair deal. I'm more than welcome to pay that. So
Okay.
yeah, she'll hand over 5 gold for it.
And he exchanges the knuckles. So what you basically have is a volcanic mineral knuckles that go on your hand, and when with a successful hit, you will add 1d4 damage.
Nice.
So, and of course, with a critical, that damage will also double along with regular roll.
Yes, I need to
So-
figure out how to write that down. I'll put that in like
You
a,
just you put it in your
plus
notes. So
one.
D&D Beyond, you'll be able to just put it on there and just say
yeah.
knuckles,
if it hits,
or
add a d4.
you just have to kind of remember that when you're using it. So that it's just because the weight of it, you are throwing the punch, and when it hits, it's a solid hit for sure.
It's a
What
plus
about
D4,
the
correct?
plus 1d4 damage?
Thank you.
What about John and Whistler? He's looking at you two, and he says, "You just along for the ride?"
I'm looking for some silk rope.
Rope. We have plenty of rope, but you want the silk stuff, do you?
Yeah, the lightweight.
He basically goes over to the other side of the shop, and you see these large wooden spools that are hung up amongst the beams that are set up there. And with that, you do notice there are multiple. There's chain, there's hemp rope, and yes, there is a coil of silk rope. He says, "Well, how much are you looking for?"
50 feet.
50 feet. 50-foot rope. I'll give it to you. Well, I'll tell you what, 12 gold pieces for 50 foot.
Might have.
Lost you there.
I might have to get back to him.
Meanwhile, Whistler's going to be like, he's going to pantomime like a spyglass being pulled out and looking. And then he pulls out his chalkboard and pulls out one of the pieces of chalk.
Oh, okay. You're looking for chalk. He just points to a
And he
box.
does this spyglass thing again.
Yeah, he points to a box that's over by the door. And it's basically, you see all kinds of, it's like a wooden mini crate that's maybe 16 inches by 16 inches in size, like just a wooden box. Inside it, there's all kinds of pieces of chalk, and it's all white, unfortunately, but I mean different shapes and sizes, going from anywhere from like a half-inch chalk stick all the way up to like a good 2 inches. And it's just strewn in there. They're all around the same length, close enough to it. You can find what you need in there, and it's a copper apiece.
Okay. So basically, he's just going to grab maybe 10 coppers worth.
Okay. You get 10 pieces of chalk.
And he's just grabbing all the plain white chalk.
No variety in color.
Yeah,
Jeez.
no, they only had white,
So
unfortunately.
plain.
Oh, thank goodness.
Oh, okay, that's all right.
So with that, he says, "Well, you guys have an enjoyable day, and may your seas be calm."
Thank you very much.
He just
yeah, she'll
you head out and you
Yeah,
continue your exploration of Rosendeep. From there, you kind of reach the end of the docks, where you could go by the north end of the dock there, which is where the other large ship is. That is there. You're not sure. There's no flag being currently flown on it. It's down. The sails are down, so you're not sure what it is, but it's there. And I mean, there are some people that are bustling about. Their gangplank is up, but they're on the deck. There are, there's people coming and going down these docks, here and there as you walk around. You leave the dock, though, winding back around. You go up. There is as well the building. You do come across a place called the Lady of Wonders. It is a stone walled building. It is actually up on like a higher point as you go up. It is number 5 on the map. It's a kind of a large structure. It is near the edge of the village where there is some jungle forest off in the distance there to the north. It's definitely a temple or a shrine of sorts.
Okay. Whistler is going to try to explain the name of the place to Daksha. He's just going to be like,
I don't think that's that kind of building, but all right.
So you guys are standing out front of the church. We're gonna jump over to Lorelei and Knock Finn. You guys are walking back around, and you do reach the drunken clam. Do you stop? Do you go in, or do you keep about your?
So what do you want to do, Nothing? Do you want to keep walking around, or anywhere else you want to check out? Or do you want to return the orbs?
No, well, we definitely have to return the orbs first. Yeah, we definitely have to return the orbs first.
I think we're gonna go yours first.
Okay, so you walk around the docks again to the pinnace that is tied up at the southern end, and you put the oars into the boat and secure them in place. And now you are free to go about your business. Where are you headed to? As I said, you guys know the town enough that you would know what else there is. You know about Jane's Drafts. You know about the Bound Bastion, which is the smithy. And of course, Jane's Drafts is just that, an alchemy shop of sorts. And there are individuals about town, like that there are people who do tattoos, and there are people that that you can fence.
Really?
Like they're, yeah.
What kind of trouble do you want to get into, Knockfin?
Did we ever figure out how much gold we got?
Yeah. You amongst the group of you, there's 5. That would be 60 gold pieces each.
Okay, so we have 60 each.
So yes, John, you have 60 gold pieces on you, just so you know.
So I want to make sure, so I update my sheet.
I don't know if I did or not. I think I did.
I need to update mine.
Yeah, the captain took a little bit of a chunk, but
yeah, no, makes sense.
Oh,
I just want to make sure I have just the right amount.
So what trouble do you want to get into?
Whereabouts would we find somebody who might do a tattoo? Like probably in the bar, I guess, eh?
Well, for certain there would be people around there. That the place a couple of doors just this side of the clam, there is an individual there that does do that is known to do tattoos. One of the few tieflings in town.
Okay. I would like to kind of mention to Gabrielle that I'm going to head there to get some ink done. And then maybe I'll meet her at the did you do what you call it? The
Drunken Clam?
Clam in a bit, yeah. I mean,
Alright,
you
have
come
fun.
along if you want, but
Sure, I'll come with him, man, to get a piercing or something.
yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Let's have a little fun, shall we?
So you guys you head down the docks, and sure enough, there's the shanty on the side, a little bit run down, but I mean most of the places here are. And you knock on the door, and of course, answering the door is a very interesting looking a tiefling that has upward horns, like almost like bull horns, but one has been broken off. Well. If you actually make me perception checks, okay. Those of you standing at the door.
Sorry. I gotta pay attention. 12.
And I'm pulling up my thing. 17.
17. Well, with the 17, you definitely notice it at first glance anyway. You would have eventually figured this out or seen it as they get a little closer to you, but you do notice that it's not been broken off. It's been cut off. It's got a clean cut to it. And it at an odd angle to where it probably looks like it shouldn't have been cut that way. So you're not 100% sure what was going But yeah, this and of course slightly reddish gray skin tone as this individual looks at you and he says, what can I do for you?
Hello. We just arrived in town. I was looking to get some art for my shell.
On your, you want me to tattoo your shell?
Well, yeah, why not? It's a part of me, you know.
Word. It won't. I've done it once before on the likes of a turtle. It's difficult, and I go through so many needles.
Yeah, well, it is a bit of a trial, I understand. But...
Oh, my word. Well, it will be reflected in the price. What is it you're looking to have put there?
Like, okay, uh, like like the shape of a heart, right? But like, I wanted, my ship is called the Tainted Heart, right? And so I kind of want to
Oh,
have, like, yeah, right? So, but I want to have a heart that's like tainted, but, and I don't know how you would reflect that in art. I'm not very much of an artist, but I know what I like.
well,
Does that help at all?
I could do something along the lines of the ship's flag. I've seen it before.
Okay, all right, all
Um,
right. Not like a big thing. Just maybe like in the corner, you know, like a little one, like a little tiny little one.
like just a little flag maybe up on the top upper left side of
Yeah,
your
yeah,
your
yeah.
shell.
I gotta represent the ship, right? You know.
Well, I can tell you it's not going to be cheap. That's for sure.
How much is not cheap?
Because you're a turtle.
Hmm.
About 100 gold pieces.
Ay, 100, man.
That's gonna be expensive.
See, that's the thing, right? Because I heard that there was another guy in town who was gonna do it for like 60, I think, or something like this. Maybe
Who?
50. I can't
Who?
remember.
Who? Was that
Oh,
Bernard? Is that Bernard guy?
I
Don't
think
go
it
there.
might have been. Yeah, it was like Bernard or
I think I heard that as
Fernard
well.
or
I
something.
think I
How
heard
much
that.
was he going to charge you?
He said like 50 gold. It was a really good
Aye.
deal.
That's
Oh,
not too
well.
bad. Aye.
I'm sorry. I'm not doing no 50 gold tattoo, but you get what you pay for. Maybe, I don't know, 75.
You know, how about 55?
Said 65?
Call it 60 and make it even. It's a
You,
nice
as far
round
as
number.
long as anybody else is concerned, you paid full price. You paid 100. That's 60 it is.
Never tell a soul.
I don't want to tell anyone either.
Oh, you did good on that one.
Mercy in the
She,
crowd.
he invites you in and sits you down on like a sort of like a weird table bench where you're leaning the front half of your body down low where he can sit beside you and get at the axis of your upper left shell. And he gets these special needles out and tools and a little hammer and a mallet. Because again, it's not, there's no guns doing the tattoos. He's tap 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 all the way along.
Oh, wow.
So you're gonna be there for a little bit of time
That's
as
fine. I got
you
time
guys
to
are getting your work done. Jumping back to the others that have been standing outside now, they're standing outside the place known as the Lady of Wonders. You know who this individual is. Actually, Whistler and John, make me a history check, please. See if you recall. I mean, you're neither one of you the types that would probably go into such a place normally. So let's see if you remember what this.
I rolled a total of 17.
Okay.
Trying to find history.
Oh, good luck. I try to find history all the time and I fail every time.
I was thinking the same joke and I didn't say it.
I'll be right
4.
back. I'm just gonna grab a pop.
A 4.
No problem.
Did you just say you rolled a 4?
Yes.
You rolled a 4. Okay. So yeah, you're just kind of looking at this place, and you know it's some kind of religious person. That's all you know. Whistler,
I know I don't want to go in. I don't know why. I just know I don't want to go.
Well, what you guys know of the Lady of Wonders, it is owned by a tabaxi. Her name is Three. Just Three. That's her name. She is the only cleric in Rosendeep that you are aware of. And she worships the goddess of sirens.
They
Interesting.
don't
That'll
have
be
any
fun.
rum.
Pretty much the same as what Gabrielle worships, but just with a little bit of a twist.
Meanwhile, I'm pointing her
And
out.
Gabrielle wants to go there at some point.
It is a stone walled building, a structure, and it has large
Devoid of
windows,
rum.
wonderful glass colored windows, and the walls are all covered with moss growing up from the ground. So it's a really pretty building that's sitting here where it's at right now on this raised bit of a hill with the sun coming down at the side and shining on it. So it's rather it looks like a church when you see it for sure. So what are you doing? Are you continuing on, or are you?
I'm
I
gonna
think
point out.
Daksha is kind of curious.
I'm gonna point out the person I know to Daksha and just go.
as you so you do walk in the door.
There's 3 of them.
It's a wonderful place. Wonderfully warm on the inside. You do see an altar that's set up. You do see all kinds of figurines of serpent-like uh, creatures that look more like mermaids in a way, but not mermaids. And they're lining the wall on the inside. And as you walk in, there is this very lanky and short, maybe about 4.5 feet, 5 feet tall. Looks It almost looks like a Persian cat, a little bit fluffy. And she's there and she's wearing clerical vestments that are bluish gray, and she looks over in a very melodic voice, and she was, with your passive perceptions, you notice she was humming the minute you walked in, but she also stops and looks towards you and nods as she sees Whistler hold up 3 fingers. And she looks at you, Whistler, and she's like, "Ah, Whistler, I know of you, and you remember me. That's good to hear." And he looks over to John and Daksha. He says, John's standing in the door. He hasn't come inside. She looks over and he says, "Haven't seen him before. And you, I definitely have not seen you before, my dear. My name is Three. I am
That's what he meant.
I am the healer of these parts. Is there something that I can do for you, or is there something that ails you that I can help with?"
Do you have any
Originally,
rum?
I was.
She looks to the
That
door
is
and she says,
only-
"You know where to get the rum."
Sounds
Fair
like
enough.
He needs a fix for that, maybe.
Okay, at this point,
I'll meet you guys back at the clam after I stop at the blacksmith.
Okay. So you take off and leave them behind. You do see, as you're there, again, it's definitely a temple on the inside, or a shrine. There is it looks like a donation box, for tithing, and right above it there is a shelf with various glass flasks filled with like a couple of different liquids sitting up there. But that's, again, it's behind where she would stand and give any kind of sermons that she has. Um,
Mhm.
so it looks like there's some form of a donation that's offered. There is other things there. Maybe it's holy water. You're not sure. What
Right.
are you guys doing?
I figured I'd let Whistler go first. I think he had something he wanted to say.
1 second, guys. All right, should be good.
Everything okay?
Yeah, I just had to change my earbud. I have to use them, unfortunately, one at a time because the power runs out. So when the one goes dead, I just put the other one in. So I have to switch ears. Go figure.
That's funny.
Yeah, I don't think they're meant to be worn for that length of time, as much as they say they are.
Whistler basically gonna walk up to 3 and just pull out the new chalkboard he's got. He's just gonna write on it. How have you been?
I've been quite well, young Kenku. And you can tell she's older than you by probably about 50 or 60. I'm doing quite well. Rosen Deep has been relatively calm as of late. There's been no tragedies, so I really haven't been put to use. I've even got a couple of possible new recruits to the shrine, but we'll have to wait and see where that goes. How about you?
I thought I would explore this new place, and I am from a monastery, so I was curious.
Well, I can tell by your garb that you're definitely not the typical pirate. That's for sure. Are you traveling with Whistler here?
Uh, Only if it is a good thing.
So no, it's just so I know that it's the Tainted Heart that you are aboard. That is your vessel of calling, and that's
Okay.
fine. I'm very familiar with the Tainted Heart.
I'm gonna
Yes,
try to
I-
move another strike at the back of Doc's head.
You do realize I'm 7.8 foot tall, right? So what are you gonna do? Half flutter up there and try and get to me?
I'm gonna
Jump.
reach it up
Jump.
and just go.
Pats her on the back.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what you end up doing. The
And
pat
I
on the
rolled a
back.
15 to strike.
Mm.
Doesn't hit.
So she just kind of
Just kind
sidesteps, like does her thing. So you guys are kind of chatting it up with 3, and what John is
Yeah.
doing is John leaves and goes around on that map again. Let me bring it up one more time for the chat. You
Think
will
it's
see
building 2.
it is building 2. It's the large building on the other raised area near the southern end of the village, of the shanty, near the other jungle woods. That is what is called the the Bound Bastion. It is a solid single-story building made of stone brick and a green tiled roof, and with a large cellar door that you see at the side of the building, like with those those huge wooden doors that are kind of set down on the ground level that open up, double doors going into it looks like probably a root cellar under the building of some sort. It contains a number of small braziers in the yard, and a variety of weaponry hangs from posts that are stretched between different walls that have been set up of the bastion. There, you do see 2 full sets of scale mail on stands sitting right there on display, and they look very well done. But all manner of weapons. You do see cutlass or sabers, and you see a couple scimitars, daggers all over the place, some short swords. So all kinds of weapons, even a couple of long swords that are hanging here. Some look freshly made. Some look like they've been refurbished, maybe, and fixed up a little bit. So that is what you see. And of course, the blacksmith himself is another tabaxi. This fellow is another panther-like tabaxi, but not as tall. Maybe about 6 feet, and a little bit more lanky, but more muscular at the same time. And his name, as you recall, is Nimble Hummingbird. That is the individual that you see working amongst the shop, and he doesn't really notice you come in at the moment. He's banging away at some metal on an anvil and working it in the braziers in the forge. So, what are you doing, John, as you come across the Bound Bastion?
I make myself known to the keep, to the blacksmith.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. What are you looking for?
An odd item. I show him one of my pistols,
Oh my word, flintlock.
and I ask him if he has that I could maybe fire the end of my pistol.
You looking for the powder?
If you have any.
I know a guy.
But I'm also looking for that can be fired.
Breaking out.
Oh, they're like a sling
look-
bullet, but they're a little heavier.
Yeah, but I'm looking for a grapple that I could fire from a pistol.
Want to turn your pistol into a grappling hook?
Well, I want to fire the grappling hook from the pistol.
I've seen it on a crossbow. I don't think I've ever seen it on a pistol. You'd have to leave it with me, and I'd have to take a look at it and see what I can do.
Fair enough.
I won't do anything to it, though, until I've confirmed a price with you. I just need some time with it to kind of look it over and see what I can manage.
Fair enough. And so I'll leave my pistol with him to...
Gonna have to at least give me a couple of days to look it over.
Very reasonable.
Right. But you leave it behind and you make your way, finally, to the Drunken Clam. Now, at that point, we have Knockfin and Gabrielle, who have made their rounds, I think, to everywhere you've wanted to go.
Gabrielle did want to go to another spot, if that's okay.
Okay, where else are you headed?
She does want to go check out the Lady of Wonder. Because
Okay.
I think that'd be interesting. So I think she'll ask Knockfin. There's one more place I want to go check out. Do you want to come with me?
No, this tattoo will probably take a while. You go ahead. I'll meet you at the pub.
Clam?
Yeah, yeah.
Alright. So she'll head out. She'll head over to the
Okay.
Lady of Wonder.
Excellent. So you are heading to the Lady of Wonder. You, of course, are familiar with the Lady of Wonders. You do know her name is 3. You know she worships the goddess of sirens, which basically in and of the same as
Same.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just happens to be just directed at the siren types. And you do, of course, when you get there, you notice right off the bat, you can hear the humming. Beautiful, beautiful humming coming from the inside of the building, the Lady of Wonders building, with the sun coming in through basically a stained glass window that's there, colored glass window, coming in, and you see everything laid out like a shrine on the inside. With a donation box and a shelf that looks like it's got some either holy water or something up there. There and of course, as you come in, she turns and she looks at you with a big smile. And Gabrielle, it has been quite some time since you have been in the Lady of Wonders. What brings you in? How goes your travels?
Quite well. I haven't sunk recently, so quite well. I'm on the Tainted Heart now. Doing quite well.
Really? The Tainted
Mhm.
Heart. How is the
Mhm.
captain treating you?
Quite well. She made a few new rules, but quite well. Been there for a few years now.
That's definitely what I like to hear. I'm glad things are going well for you.
Yeah.
Is there anything that I can do for you? Anything that ails you?
Not at the moment. Nothing that you can help anyway. I was hoping I could just take a moment to pray.
Oh,
To a
of
certain someone.
course. Of course. And of course, as you guys know, it is Thara that is the patron of the sky, air, and lightning, but also thunder, tempest, the seas, and the water, which includes sort of avatars that would reach out to the Siren and Triton community and so on, so that they basically worshiping the same goddess or god. Uh, it's actually, well, I guess it's a god technically. So
Yeah.
and yeah, she's actually chaotic neutral, and her symbol is a three-forked lightning bolt. So that's the general consensus of the individual. So
And she came here because I think she feels comfortable coming to this place to, pray to her patron, because basically kind of the same thing. So
yeah, of course, it gives you a haven that you can go to and say your prayers.
Because she'll do her prayers and drop a couple of silvers into the donation box, 2 silvers to the donation box. Because she does it. She comes in, she prays, she does her little donation.
She looks at you and she says, "You know what? For maybe a little bit more, you can have one of these." And she reaches up to the shelf and she grabs one of the flasks with this bluish colored liquid swirling about on the inside. Says, "For just a little bit more of a donation, you can take with you one of these that might help you at a later time."
What is it? Because
It's a potion of healing. Only 50
yes.
gold for a donation.
Oh, yeah. All right, fine. Because I have a little bit. So, yeah, she'll do that.
Oh, she's very happy. She hands you the flask. Make sure that the gold goes into the the box, and she takes out your couple silvers, by the way, and gives them back to you. You don't have to double donate, you see. But I'm glad you stopped by, Gabrielle. It's nice to see you.
It's nice to see you.
We don't have very many like-minded individuals for the most. Well, I guess a lot of people worship in their own way, especially in these parts, but not the way we do. I've actually got a couple of possible new acolytes.
Really? That's wonderful.
Yeah, yes, for the goddess of sirens, and they've shown some interest. So we'll see how that plays out. But yeah,
hopefully it goes well.
Be sure to come back another time.
Always.
I mean, I do have a few more of these potions if the need ever arises. So they might come in handy.
Always handy to have healing around.
All right.
I'm hanging out with Whistler.
Okay.
So she'll head to the clam. Say goodbye and head to the clam.
You're headed to the clam. Whistler's going to the clam. Daksha has made her way to the clam. I think John is definitely at the clam. And then we have good old Knockfin, who isn't quite there yet, because the tattoo is going to take a little bit of time. It is most of the afternoon. You will be there. So you guys are at the Drunken Clam. It is, as I mentioned, it is a 2-story timber frame building with a brown tile roof and shuttered windows. The furnishing on the inside, however, is what you would expect for a shanty tavern or inn. There is a mixture of finds all around the room in a variety of conditions. There's old swords and tattered sails and old nets, some intact, some have got holes in them. A variety of mounted fish, everything lines the walls with trinkets and odds and ends everywhere. The crowd is what you would expect as well from a place located on Whitemane. Very ruckus, for sure. And even at right now, it's probably early afternoon, mid-afternoon by this point. There are all manner of pirates, former and current, that call this place a home away from home, as many of you who have been here before know. What are you?
Whistler's immediately going to get Doctor's attention. Point to the sign that says the Drunken Clam. He goes, "Hey, should be like." Trying to point out what he was trying to get at before.
John is just sitting at the bar having a.
Oh, you cut up, John.
You cut out.
Yeah, it cut out.
Yeah, I'm spreading rumors around the bar
What rumor are you trying to spread?
God.
about the Luxodon monk gonna come in a bit,
No.
and how much fun she is when she's drunk.
Why?
Make me a persuasion check.
Oh no.
And how many drinks in are you by now?
Oh, I'd say probably 3 or 4.
So you've had 3 or 4 good shots of rum already. Okay, make it with advantage, please.
It's an 8 and a 3.
Okay, so you're trying to start this rumor as you're drinking. You're not sure. Maybe it's the rum. You think you're doing a good job spreading the word. The rest of you, when you arrive, you walk in. For a moment, the room stops and kind of looks as they see, well, quite the sight. A Loxodon, a Triton, and a Kenku walk into a bar. It is one of those situations. So you guys walk in. They do glance at you, obviously, for what it is. You do get some recognizing glances to Gabrielle and to Whistler as you come in. Not everybody, but there's 1 or 2 patrons that you've seen here in these parts before. May have been months ago that you've seen them last, but it's just that look of, yeah, I know you, not the nod of acknowledgement that you do notice as you walk in, but nothing other than that. As you approach the bar where you've got sitting John Cardinal, looks like he's already about 3 or 4 sheets, 3 or 4 rums in. There's a couple of there's an empty rum bottle tilted off to the side, sitting beside him on the bar, and there is currently an empty glass. It would be a large shot glass sitting in front of him.
Okay.
He didn't finish the whole bottle, but he finished off the bottom of the bottle. But that is what you see. And as you approach, what say you? What is everybody doing?
Okay.
I know. Go ahead.
You first.
I was gonna say, having acquired the potion, can I do a check to see what kind of healing potion I got, or if it's just a regular healing potion?
It's a potion of healing, regular
Okay.
potion of healing.
Okay. Then I'm just gonna come in and have a seat. What empty seats are there? Is it just at the bar, or?
The place is filled with all manner of individuals. They are, from what you have seen, they are current existing pirates that are on other crews. There are some here that are retired and out of the pirate game, as they say. There are a few odd fishermen that are locals, but not really. I mean, it is what it is. It's a pretty rowdy place filled with pirates, thugs, cutthroats, thieves, and so on. It's what you would expect. But you do see a kind of a camaraderie around certain groups. Like you can tell there is a cluster of individuals off to one table. There's a cluster over at another couple tables that seemed probably the crew of one particular ship or another. They do seem to have a camaraderie and a loyalty to these small bands. Maybe that's the honor amongst thieves that the captain was.
I'll go up to the bar and sit. Leave one space in between her and John, empty, like a Loxodon-sized shape.
Okay.
Oh no.
And take a seat.
Okay, Whistler.
I'm going to, from 30 feet away, cast minor illusion on John's drink and make it look like it's full when it's not. Just so he doesn't get himself into too much trouble.
Hey, a word are already starting.
I try to
You
help.
see a fairly young, maybe early 30s, human, male, standing behind the bar, and you know this individual to be Theodore Rowley, who is the owner of the Drunken Clam. He is the innkeep. He is the bartender. He's not the waitress or the bar wench. There are a couple of those running about doing their business, but he does look over as you're doing this at the basically she's walked in and sat down. You're standing just inside the door of the bar as you've entered about 30 feet away from where Gabrielle is sitting, and you start to cast a spell. What is the components of that spell?
Let me double check.
I just need to make
Think
sure.
Minor illusion.
I just need a bit of fleece, which apparently I have in my inventory.
So there's no verbal, there's no semantic, it's just material?
It is somatic and
somatic and material.
Okay.
No
So
verbal, somatic and material.
as you begin to cast, the voice that you recognize as Theodore kind of says, "Hey, Whistler, no spells in my bar."
He's writing down, making sure my friend don't get in trouble.
He sits here and he's waiting for you to write this out. Your friend is fine, like everybody else here. For every man for himself. That's just the way it is. You don't like how it is in Rosendeep? Don't come to Rosendeep.
You know, he just like, you know, surrendered. He's like, okay.
He looks like he doesn't look like he was really seaworthy much himself, but he's definitely rough. Look, and a fairly rugged individual, but definitely does not look like a sailor or a pirate of any kind. But definitely he's got some, even though it is his young age, he looks like he's been beaten up a few times or done some beatings a few times himself. You know, by the looks of him. So you make your way slowly up to the bar with the rest. And Daksha, do you? There's an empty seat at the bar beside Gabrielle and beside John.
He just pats it.
Are you having a seat and partaking in the drink?
Apparently, I am.
Okay.
Yes, my entire crew would like it.
So you go ahead.
I'm gonna sit beside John, and I'm gonna try a different trick to try to help him out. Then.
Okay, so all of you are sitting at the bar.
Yep.
Rounds are starting to come with shots of rum being poured from a new bottle that was taken down. What are you doing, Whistler, to aid in this accomplishment?
I'm going to swipe his drink so he doesn't get too drunk. I'm going to just pass it off to Doctor.
Okay, so you are trying to do a sleight of hand to move his drink over in front of Daksha, and so she's getting double and he's getting...
And I want a 23 for that.
Okay, make me a perception roll. You can still stop him, John. Because obviously you're watching. I'm assuming that because of where you are, everybody is actively watching their stuff.
Yes.
Otherwise, it would have just been a passive perception roll. So.
Yeah, because like I already know where I'm hiding my stuff.
How did you do there, John?
I'm still trying to find it.
Perception?
I know my alphabet and that. I'm just trying to see it on the screen.
Right under nature, if that helps at all.
Yeah.
It's just my eyes are messing up. Got a 19.
Yeah.
19.
So 3 P's can get
You do not notice, like you see a lot of other things. You're being really observant. You notice that Daksha appears to be out drinking you. That's what you notice with that perception roll. You look down. You finished yours, but she's pounding back another one. And you've got an empty sitting in front of you. And switching over now to Knockfin. It's been a couple of hours, and it's taking its toll. He's busted about a dozen different needles, working on this. But he does. At one point, he stops and he gets a mirror, and it's a broken chunk of mirror.
Yeah.
And he holds it up, and there's one on the wall, and he holds it up so you can see the top shoulder piece there. And it is basically, it looks like a crossed pair of flag poles, but only one has a flag on it, and it's the flag of the Tainted Heart. And it's small. It's about, maybe 4 inches by 4 inches.
That's fine. Yeah, that's okay.
Like, it's not huge. Like, you didn't want it too big. It's noticeable. You can see it, but it's not like covering your entire shell.
No. Well, no, that's not what you would want to do. You would have just wanted a little corner. Okay, he'll tip a bit extra, like 5 gold.
Excellent.
And then bugger off to the clam.
And it is, by the way, just for the record, you can make note that it is an extremely well done tattoo, like almost masterwork level.
Nice.
And you make your way to the clam. And
can I retcon that just a little bit before I leave? Can I ask him? Have you I know you do normal tattoos. Have you ever done anything magical?
Oh, you know what? I don't have. Well, I may have the skill to do the foundation work of the tattoo, but I don't have the arcane inklings to further.
If somebody were to bring these things to you, you would be able to do the work then?
If there is arcane ingredients that you wish me to use, I could probably do something for you.
It's good to know.
I mean, we've had the occasional sailor come through the parts that claims to have the ability to do such tattoos, but it's been a while.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
Okay. All right, so you make your way to the clam, and once you walk in the clam, you are confronted with a very ruckus scene with all kinds and all manner of individuals around the room. And just to make up the description of a little bit of what Rosen Deep is, it has about 167 inhabitants. There are other pirates that obviously that come and go on the ships and whatnot, and sailors, but there are 167 people that live in the town. 103 of them are tabaxi, just so you are familiar with that. There's about 38 humans. There are 6 elves, 6 tieflings, 4 half-orcs. There are 2 halflings, 2 dragonborn, 2 gnomes, 2 elves, and 2 dwarves. That is what is in... Hey, Raphael, how are you? Glad you're doing well. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for visiting. Yay! We got one of our family. It's so cool. So you have walked in, and you do see this wonderful establishment for what it is, and your colleagues are sitting right up at the bar, and it looks like there's several rounds of rum in. There are rounds and the big shot glasses laid out in front of them, and they're all being poured up and filled up by Theodore behind the bar. And you are doing, you're witnessing this. Probably at this point, I'm going to need John for sure. Make me a Constitution saving throw, and Daksha, make me a Constitution saving throw.
I will say, Gabrielle only drank 4 drinks.
Yep.
Before I go over, can I try to kind of hide?
I rolled an 18.
Oh, sorry. Got an 18.
Can I try to kind of hide off and go to a table in the corner?
So you just kind of move off to the side. Yeah, you can. Make a stealth roll.
Seeing this lunacy, I want no part of.
It's not hard to hide, but make a stealth roll regardless. There's always a chance.
Oh, no, it is hard to hide when you roll a natural 1.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Okay, so you guys are drinking. So what was? So you made your save, John. You're fine. You're inebriated, but you're fine for the most part. Daksha, what about you?
Got a 13.
13. You're okay. You're starting to feel it. But I mean nothing abnormal. And as you guys are doing this, Knockfin, you walk in, you see this, you do spot a table over there, and as you turn to move, you were more focused on them at the bar and the table and not realizing there was an individual that was trying to come in from behind you, and you bump into them, causing a little bit of a disturbance. Hey, watch where you're going, you stupid turtle.
I wouldn't have to watch where I was going if you were watching where you were going.
I don't need to watch where I'm going. You need to watch where you're going.
And I'll bugger it. I'll kind of push past him and go back to the table I was looking at.
Okay. He just kind of grumbles and does the same thing and goes.
A dirty look.
He goes about his way as well. But you guys there at the bar, except for Daksha and John, Gabrielle and Whistler, you can make me perception checks to see if you notice this altercation.
Ooh, not 20.
Yeah.
John will
Natural
pour
one.
the next.
Nice. You definitely are quite aware that Knockfin has entered and bumped into somebody, and they exchanged some words, little bit of harshness there, but nothing really arose out of it. But Knockfin goes and sits at a table in the corner by himself, away from the bar where the four of you are sitting. What do you do, Gabrielle, with this knowledge?
So seeing him, come in, she's already had a couple of drinks. She's fine. I think she will try and move away from the bar to join him, just to kind of surveil everything going on.
Okay, so you're moving away from the bar to join Knockfin. Whistler, Whistler, you see Gabrielle get up and start to move away from the bar.
You're
Can't
muted.
hear you. You're muted. Probably what you should be as a Kenku. Mute you.
Yeah.
Mute you.
Yeah.
What I'm basically trying to do is I'm trying to make sure these two do not drink too much. So I'm trying to keep them even. So I'm watching how many drinks he had, how many drinks she had, and I'm like,
You're kind of trying to make sure of what's going on, and with that perception roll that you rolled, you think they're balanced and even. You're not 100% positive, but that's what you think. And you're paying attention to that. I need another saving throw, a Constitution saving throw from Daksha and John. And yes,
I was gonna
Daksha.
say, as I was starting to get more tipsy, I'm trying to be a little more careful because I do not want to be throwing up again.
Okay. You think you're pacing? You think you're pacing yourself? That's fine.
I'm gonna help them.
6.
I'm gonna help them out because I'm gonna start taking some shots then.
6. What did you roll, Daksha?
I'm rolling it. A 12.
A 12. Okay. And you can make me a con saving throw as well, Whistler, because now you're joining in on the fray and pounding some back.
I'm basically gonna steal one of their drinks.
Yep.
I'm gonna start with Daksha.
Daksha, you are officially drunk. You're not like stupid drunk, but you're drunk. You feel that giddiness and memories of your childhood and just the positive stuff. You're thinking about all that stuff as so you're feeling pretty good. John, you're drunk, like smashed. Drunk.
Rickard's drunk.
You're Rickard's red drunk. Yes, you are. Yeah, that's wow. You remember that? Oh my God,
Oh,
were we
yeah.
ever drunk? Anyway, Rickard's red, Rickard's dark. Yeah, I remember that. That was some good
Yes,
times.
sir.
And you
Uh,
want me to roll a Constitution save, right?
Yes, please.
Total of 18.
An 18. So you feel it, but I mean you're fine for the most part. So Gabrielle, actually Knockfan, Gabrielle, and Whistler, because you guys are not actually drunk.
Yep.
I need you guys to make me a roll. Actually, just one of you. Who wants to do it?
I'll do
Well,
it.
kind of
depends on
roll?
what kind of a roll it is.
Yeah, what
Well,
kind of roll is
it's
it?
just an event roll. Something you may notice that's
Like a
happening.
And it's a
D20?
D20?
No, just D6 actually.
Okay, just a D6.
Who wants
I
to do
guess
it?
Whistler's rolling.
Do you want to do it? I'll do it.
No, that's fine. Go ahead.
I rolled a 3.
A 3. As you approach, as you're trying to balance everything out, Whistler, you're kind of looking around and you're really not paying attention too much to Daksha and John because there's another individual that is distracting you. You notice this going on, and Gabrielle, you notice as well. There is a bard who is not from your ship, but you've seen him about
Oh,
these
that's what
parts
you were
before.
gonna say.
You've seen him here before. He's from one of the other crews, and he begins to play basically a fiddle as he's doing it, like almost like a shanty type song. But it's not. He's not singing. He's doing like the little shanty jig thing, and then he stops and starts telling a tale. And the story he tells is really something that you are familiar with, all of you. Now keep in mind this is not for Daksha or John. You're not really noticing it at this point in time. But the tale is that of the famed ship known as the Wraith of the Waters. It's a ghost ship that's seen her last voyage around the Seahorse Islands, which you are familiar with, but Daksha, you're not really familiar. You're not here in this conversation, but it is to the west of here, is where those islands are. The ship was sunk by a sudden and mysterious storm. Uh, just over 60 crew and all the cargo and booty that it held sunk to the bottom of the southern expanse. That is the tale, but it is a ghost ship that apparently protects those waters around the Seahorse Isles, and that's the tale that this bard is speaking throughout, telling of like I don't know what they call it. It's a verbal story that he's storytelling with music. And a fiddle in the background, and some people are once the music comes, people are tapping along to it. And then some of them, when there's a heightened part of the story, they'll cheer, oh yeah, and so all kinds of things as this story is going. So this bard is quite well versed in the story and performing quite well. A 19 on his performance check. Just
Wow.
you guys are aware of
Can
what
I
you're.
take notes of the locations and names as he's
Yep,
just like
when I
just
do mention these things, when I mention the name of a place or an event, it may be just a tall tale or a myth.
it could be,
but
you never
you
know.
never know. So it's always good to keep notes because I don't keep them for you.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Just
Yeah.
Doc Vince is gonna write down the name of this place. Oh, sure, treasure. Right.
Yeah, the Seahorse Isles, and the ship was the Wraith of the Waters. So
Sounds fun.
yeah, so that's what you guys noticed. Now back at the bar, Daksha, do you continue drinking? John, are you like you guys are drunk? You're at the point where you both think that you can have another one. It doesn't matter either way. You feel good.
Okay, I'm gonna try to steal one of John's drinks this time to balance it out.
I feel great.
John, you don't even have to roll for John. John's inebriated. So even when when Theodore pours him around and you snag it, he's not even really paying attention. But he does end up getting the next one that Theodore lays down for him. What about you, Daksha?
If I have a choice, I'd probably stop because I really don't want to throw up again. But
Okay.
I
He's
as a
not. No one's
DM,
forcing
don't
you
know
at this
much
point.
about being drunk, so I'll let you kind of help me with that one because I don't know if she'd be
You're
smart
you're
enough
at the
to do
point
that or
where
not.
you're feeling good. You're not out of control. You're not that sick feeling yet that you know of. You're feeling pretty decent. But because you have that fear already of being sick and being there before, you are able to stop yourself from drinking. That's not really a problem.
Yay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, Whistler's all too willing to drink.
So we are, when we're looking at this, you guys are kind of carrying on. You stopped drinking. Pretty much, John is no longer drinking in and of himself because Whistler's taking a few of his drinks. Whistler, I need you to make one more contact, please.
I think Doxel's just kind of step away so she doesn't get tempted.
Oh, that was a 2.
Okay.
Oh no!
You're smashed. You're drunk like the rest of them, and not really drinking much further. Doksha, you leave the bar, and you do see a table where Knockfin is sitting with Gabrielle. Near the corner of the bar. They seem to be listening to this tale of the bar. That there's a bard. Oh, you just kind of looked up and go, oh, there's a bard telling a story. And you know about some stories around around the Seahorse Isles. You know about the myth of a ghost ship. You've never seen it, you know, because again, it's not far from your homeland. It's actually part of that area. So that is, I mean, you're familiar a little bit with parts of this tale. These telling, but you see your friends sitting there at a table, and you find a seat there. John and Whistler, you're at the bar still. You're both drunk. You're alone at the bar. Other than strangers you are not familiar with. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm trying to keep John out of trouble and help him out.
The
Unload
drinks
some of
have not been poured. I mean, it's at the point where you guys are pretty. You're toast. Like you're there. I mean, if you really insisted on more alcohol, you'd probably get served. But yeah, Theodore's kind of stopped serving you at this point because you're having a hard time sitting on the bar stools.
How did I wind up alone with this guy?
Well, as you point him out and you kind of look around, asking that question to the thin air, and you guys see him at the bar doing this. So how did I end up alone with this guy? And you're looking around. There's a bard up performing a story to music, and your friends are sitting over at a table in the corner, by themselves.
I think John just noticed
Hey,
to Knockfin.
So the drunken John almost stumbles off of his stool,
I'm gonna
almost
follow him.
tipping it over. The Kenku jumps off his stool and stumbles, almost running into another individual.
Oh, dear.
But as you guys head over to the table and you sit down, this time around, I'm just gonna say who rolls it. Let us do a Lorelei. Actually, you can roll me a d6, please.
All right.
This is
4.
what I used to try to stop
A
him
4?
from getting drunk.
4.
Okay, so as you guys are all together now at the table, the bard finishes that tale and then continues now to play some music in the background. No words to it, just a kind of a sea shanty type beat to it, where people are tapping their feet and banging their mugs on the table and glasses and whatnot, just enjoying it. As you guys are sitting together and you're having the conversation, is there anything you are saying to each other? What's happened as these two drunkards reach to the table?
Tinkle plays this better.
Yeah.
They found this.
Nothing.
I think she will be.
Nothing.
go
Look
ahead.
over at Gabrielle and say, "So, this is a good song. It's a very interesting story. I think that those islands, they are not so far away. Maybe we could, go off and see if there is any truth to this tale of treasure."
I tried one time to find the ghost ship. Did not work.
Well, yes, but there was only the one of you. Now there's like what, like
True.
5 of us,
Mhm.
and
I
you know.
wouldn't mind finding Ghost Ship.
Okay,
Oh,
I might be drunk.
But she's drunk, so she's being a little more
I
flamboyant.
I think
I
she,
might be drunk, but I don't
You
think
are
looking
drunk.
for ghost ships is a good idea.
It'll be
I think
fine.
she looks at Knock
You
Fan.
get me to have adventure with drinking, you have adventure with ghosts.
That
I
sounds
don't mind
interesting.
having adventure, but ghosts sound terrifying.
I bet that there's not even any ghosts at all. I bet that it's just a tale to keep people away from
Well,
the
that
treasure.
would be boring then.
Well, we don't
What?
know if it is or not. I
See,
would
that's
have
what
to
I'm
get the
saying, right?
captain's permission.
Nobody has anyone ever actually seen this ghost ship?
It was
It's
Probably
probably
not.
there are worse things in the ocean than a ghost ship. Trust me.
That's what I'm saying. There's worse things.
In response to Doctor, I'm gonna write down "Speak for yourself."
Well, if you want to go, we'll have to see if we get permission.
Up until I ran into Tinkle's friend, I'd never seen a dragon either. Glad I see them every day.
I like it.
I'm not going
I
looking
enjoy
for
it.
them.
Maybe we can look into this ghost dragon. And
Well, I mean, I guess he just won't, maybe we'll just only have a couple of shares of the treasure, and we'll just
I like
save it
you
for the people who go along,
thinking.
I mean, it could be a lot of crazy stuff down there. You never know.
Okay, now you have Whistler's attention.
So you guys are having
Flame
this.
turns out to be ghostly.
You guys are having this rather loud conversation at the table. I mean, some people hear your tale, but there's other tables talking about the same thing, because that story always brings to mind people's curiosities about, oh, I wonder if we can find that treasure. It's all part. I mean, you are in a pirate cove. As you guys are having this conversation and kind of mellowing down your drunkenness for a little bit, it is getting later in the evening. At that point, you notice the door of the clam open up, and in comes a little gnome that you are familiar with. It is Gold Thumb Lizzie coming in. She is the quartermaster on the Tainted Heart, as some of you remember. And by the way, they call her Gold Thumb Lizzie because she holds on to coins so tight they become part of her thumb. She's kind of in control of the purse strings of the ship.
Love it.
So she does come in, and she's looking around, and she sees you guys at the table, and she walks over and she says, we're going to have a mission. We're going to need you guys to do something.
Okay.
It appears the captain's brother and Tinkle Surefoot have gone missing.
Tinkle's missing.
Really?
Well, I had sent Tinkle here ahead of time before we got here, because my brother had received a summons to go and report to the council. So I did send Tinkle on a smaller vessel ahead of you guys to kind of accompany him so he wouldn't be alone. And the two of them seemed to get along fairly well. So that is what I did. But now it turns out that they have sent him, or the two of them went up to report to the council, and they did not arrive. So we need you guys to retrace their steps, hopefully, and find them. What's going on? The captain is ecstatic. She's kind of upset, and she has already gone ahead herself to the council and to see, and that's of course the pirate council in Rustfall, which is at the center of the island. It's about a day's travel is where she's headed. So she has already left, but she sent me to retrieve you guys to see if you can be more cautious and retrace those steps to see if you can find out what happened to her brother and to your crew member, Tinkle Surefoot. And with that, folks,
Need to fix this.
we are going to end the stream as we get this news as the little gnome comes in and breaks the news and says, the captain needs your help. It's time to go inland and try to find out what the heck happened. It only takes a day to get there, but they've been missing for 4 days. So we're not really sure. Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, definitely something wrong.
The From those of you that know, I will just let you know. So, Doxy, you're not familiar. John, you're too drunk. You're really too drunk as well, Whistler. So, Gabrielle and Knockfin, you guys are aware that Rustfall does lie at the center of this valley, which is made of a hollowed out volcano that when it erupted its last time, it blew out the entire side of it and formed this lush valley of growth in between. And there are pockets of jungle forest. And you do know that those pockets can be quite dangerous. You know that. So, with that being said, we're going to end it for this week. I want to thank each and every one of the people out there in Chatland. And those of you that watch this stream afterwards on the video on demand on YouTube. Again, you can follow us on YouTube or on Twitch, and it's just at Deacon's Table. You will find us that way. Or it's, tinyurl.com/Deacon's Table for YouTube is the easiest way to find it. I'm going to go around the table, and we are going to introduce the players behind those characters to find out who they are and how you can reach out to them in the community. And I am also going to share two things. I'm going to share our merchandise link and our Discord link as well, so that if you want to become part of the community, please feel free to join our Discord. We would love to have you. Love to have you as part of the game. Have a seat at the table. There's a spot for everybody, that's for sure. So, with that being said, let's go to Knockfin and find out who is the man behind Knockfin, the French accent turtle.
The man behind the turtle. My name is Garrett. I play Knockfin Turtle. Knockfin Turtle, he's a turtle. And you can find me on Twitter at that D&D guy on the Instagram at that D&D guy. That D&D guy. That's it.
That's you. That's everything. And Daksha, how about you?
My name is Naomi, and you can find me on most social media as dag_crystal or some variation of it, and mostly on Discord as my characters. So come join us in all of our adventures.
And Whistler.
Hey, name's Jack. You can see me on Twitter at Black Lantern Ace, and you can see me on the Discord now as just RuneScore DM with a bracket of whatever character I'm playing for that day. So that now you
makes it easier to identify who you are.
I am the RuneScore DM.
That's it. That's you. And Jack is the person that is behind the campaign setting for RuneScar that we had kind of talked about a little bit at the beginning of the stream. Just so people are aware of that. And Gabrielle.
Hi, I'm Lorelei. I play Gabrielle. You can find me on Facebook as Lorelei Redfern. I'm on the Discord as Grey Wolf. And me and Daksha have a Twitch. That's Dag and Grace Adventures. Come watch us sometime.
Excellent. And John Cardinal.
Hi, I'm Rob. I play John Cardinal, the Wood Elf Thief Pirate. And you can find me pretty much anywhere, like Facebook as D. Robert, or on the Discord as Honey Badger.
Probably Discord is the easiest. So, and then we have shared our Discord link. So, again, join. It's free to join our Discord community and get access to all the basics that are on there. Even some early access stuff as well for the campaign settings we're working on. So you get to see the maps and the places that the characters are going on. And of course, for our paid tiers there, and by paid, I mean, we're not talking about $20, $30, $40 a month. We're talking $2.50 a month or $5 a month to become either an adventurer or a hero, where you can actually roll up characters and play in our Discord community and even join in on one-shots and perhaps be a guest star on our streams. And as I said, we do have that other fill-in stream that is coming up, and we do plan on having guest spots open up on that stream, hopefully on the regular over the 3 months, and see what happens. with that. So I know John or Rob will be joining us with a character for at least an episode in there as well. But we'll see how it goes. And bringing that around, I am Deacon Blues. I am the head of Deacon's Table. You can find me on all the pertinent socials at Deacon's Table. That's all that really matters. You will find that on there. And of course, on Twitch and in Discord and on YouTube, we're around. Remember to tune in Thursday night at 7 p.m. as we do the VCraft SMP, where Lorelei and Naomi and Jack and a few others as well join in on some fun on Minecraft as we are terraforming an entire island. It's crazy. I also do streaming casual play from the same SMP during the day on occasion. Lots of things coming up, but stay tuned for the announcement next week. Next week will be the final episode, most likely, final episode of Southern Expanse. We never know how the length of things go with this party, so it might be a little bit more than the 2 hours, or we'll have to break it up into 2 episodes. Tinkle will be back as well, depending on the situation at hand. So where we get with that.
Hopefully we find him.
Hopefully. In one piece. It's been 4 days. And the little pirate does tend to get into some trouble. So really looking forward to that, guys. But I will announce next week as well a little bit of details on the upcoming stream. On where it's going to be set and so on. I know there's some excited faces here that are playing. There's someone in chat that's excited to play as well. I can tell you from what I've seen of the characters, I'm intrigued as the DM where this is going to go. So it's going to be it's going to be fun. So either way, guys, make sure you are, in the words of Bill and Ted, be excellent to one another. And when you're out there playing games, because we all love to play the games, make sure you are playing safe. Bye for now, guys.